there, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me from home or wherever you're at today. My name is Chelsea Sphere, the Jester, and I will be your guide today, your guide through the magical world of hoop dance. Okay, so let's get started. You will need a hula hoop for your class today. So, what kind of hoop do you ask? Well, a good way to figure out what size hoop you need is to take your hoop, put it on the ground in front of you, and measure where it comes. So if you're a beginner, like you guys, your hoop should come to about your belly button, okay? So if your hoop is smaller than that or bigger than that, don't worry. We're just gonna make the best with what we've got. All right, so let's get started. First, we're gonna do a quick warm-up. Just put your hoop to the side for now. We'll come back to that later, okay? Hooping is great exercise, so we gotta warm our bodies up and get ready, okay? So first, we're gonna start with some knee ups. So take your knees and bring them up, like you're marching in a band. Get them high. Or maybe we're going on a hike. Up a mountain, to the magical land of hoop dance. Here we go. We're on a journey to hoop. Okay, let's speed it up now. Ready? Fast, fast. Try to touch your knees. Woo! Trying to get that blood flowing. All right, I bet you're breathing heavier already. All right, now we're gonna do some jumping jacks, just like in PE class, all right? You ready? We're gonna do 10 of those. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, good job. Now, we're gonna do some toe touches. Stretch out our legs. Ready? To the left side, to the right side. If you can't touch your toes, that's okay. Every body is different. Just as long as you feel the stretch in the back of your legs. Okay, now we're gonna go down. Put your arms like a T. Touch your toe. Opposite toe, touch. Opposite toe, touch. Opposite toe, touch. All right. Okay. Now we're gonna do some tornadoes. Now this is good practice for your hooping, okay? Because we're gonna practice spinning in circles. Now you can get your arms into it or not. Just like a tornado. Now I'm gonna put my arms into it. Now at this point, you might notice yourself starting to feel a little dizzy. Now I have some pointers for you to not get dizzy. It's something that we call spotting. So find a point on your wall or something to look at. And as you spin, try to keep your eyes on the same point. Okay, that'll come in handy when you're hooping and you start to get dizzy and feel like you want to fall down. Just remember, you're spotting. Okay, tornadoes, faster. Make sure you don't knock anything over in your living room. Go the other way. Woo! Your tornadoes. Add your arms in. Don't forget to spot. Okay. Woo! All right, so now we're gonna practice being trees in the wind. So grow your branches and we're gonna wave like it's windy, okay? Trees in the wind. Trees in the wind. Any good hooper knows you gotta wiggle to keep that hoop up. Trees in the wind. Get silly with it. Maybe we're trees in a tornado. Don't forget to spot. Woo! Okay, let's go the other direction now. All right, great job. Next, we're gonna do some hip circles, okay? So I want you to take your feet about hips width apart, put your hands on your hips, and we're gonna do circles around the world. Around. Around. Okay, now we're gonna go the other direction. Ready? Looking good. Now try it with your feet together and see how that feels different. Bend your knees. We don't want to be stiff boards. Stiff boards are not good hula hoopers. So spin those hips. Great job. Now the other way. Looking good. You guys are going to be great hoopers. Okay. Now let's do some circles with our arms because we're going to do a lot of hooping on our arms. Okay? So let's go in one direction. Big circles. Make sure you keep your shoulders down away from your ears to protect your shoulders, okay? Big circles. Big tires. Now we're going to get a little smaller. Little smaller. Teeny tiny circles. All right, now we're gonna go the other way. Backwards, big circles. Remember to keep your shoulders down and back away from your ears. Slightly smaller circles. Looking good, smaller. Tiny, tiny circles. Woo! All right. Now we're gonna put our arms over our head. Let's try some circles up there. Big circles. Keep those shoulders away from the ears. Big circles. Getting a little smaller. A little smaller. Tiny circles. All right. Good job, guys. All right, guys. So I know you're excited to get hooping, and I'm excited to start. But first, I want to talk about a few things. So, you might be thinking, Chelsea, I don't know how to hoop. It's so hard. Well, maybe you've only seen hooping that looks like this. Now, we call this waist hooping, around your waist. Now, this is actually pretty difficult and took me some practice to get. We don't expect you to do that today. There's plenty of other kinds of hooping that you can do off the body, okay? And we're gonna learn a few of those today. So, there are two ways of hooping. This we call vertical hooping. Up and down, right? And we have what we call horizontal hooping, like the horizon. It's flat, like so. So horizontal hooping, vertical hooping. Okay, that's going to be important to know later. We're going to start out with some vertical hooping, all right? So, first things first, how to hold your hoop. So, if you start hooping and it gets going up your arm, you've lost control of your hoop, okay? And we want to learn to hoop with control. We decide where the hoop goes. It doesn't tell us where to go, okay? All right, so now we're going to learn about our thumb as a fence. And what that means is it keeps the hoop from going up my arm towards my face, which can be kind of scary. We don't want to get hit in the face with a hoop, right? So we're going to use our thumb as a fence to keep the hoop on our hand. Okay, so make an L shape with your hand, and you're going to get the hoop going around your hand. Now my thumb is there to keep it controlled and keep it on my hand. Okay, if it gets up here, it's okay, just drop it and start over, okay? Okay, now we're gonna learn some off the body hooping. So if you're wondering how to get your hoop started in your hand, start with palm up and your hoop on your palm like so, like you're carrying a tray. Now, close your hand around your hoop, don't forget about your thumb fence, and you're gonna turn your hand over to get it started. Okay, so now it's like a jump rope, right? We're doing circles here. We're gonna start with our right hand because most people are right-handed, and then we'll move to the left hand later, okay? So, 10 of these, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you want to stop your hoop, same thing. Close your fingers around it. Okay, now we're going to go backwards. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's switch to the left hand and try the same thing over here, okay? Same thing, hold your tray, close your fingers around it, turn your hand over to start. Don't forget about your thumb fence to keep it where you want it. We're gonna do 10 on the left side. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and stop your hoop. Now we're gonna send it in the other direction, backwards. All right, are you ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now we're gonna switch back to our right hands, and we're gonna go from the side to the front. Now my hoop is staying pretty much in the same place. The only difference is where my feet are facing, right? Now the hoop is to my side. Now it's in front. Easy, right? So we're gonna do 10 on the side, and then we're gonna switch and do 10 to the front. All right, forward, like you're on a jump rope. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now turn your feet to face forward. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stop your hoop. Good job, looking great. Okay, now let's try all that with our left hand. We're gonna go side and then to the front, okay? So on the side, like you're looking down a hallway and this is your wall. All right, ready? 10, we switch, and then 10 more. Ready, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now turn your feet forward to the front. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop your hoop. All right, now let's try it backwards. 10 this way, 10 this way. All right, you ready? Okay, and go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet face forward. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, and stop your hoop. You guys are doing a great job so far. We're building a foundation. These are all the basics of hooping, so you can have great control over your hoop and be a great hooper. All right. Now, if you're having some trouble going backwards, it is a little harder to get started on your hand, and I'm gonna walk you through that now. So, my thumb is facing up, and I'm holding the hoop with my fingers, like so. So the hoop is behind me, and we wanna go in backwards circles. How do you get it going, right? All right, I'm gonna walk you through that now. So, thumb up, and I'm just gonna release the hoop with my hands and let it roll. So instead of gripping it, we use a little bit of that arm strength, like those arm circles we practiced in our warm-up, to send it backwards. Okay, let's try that again. If my thumb is facing up, I'm gonna use a little arm strength and get my hoop going. Don't forget about your thumb fence to keep it from going up your arm. Great job, guys. So now we're gonna practice switching from one hand to the other. It's good for our bodies and for our brains to use our left and right hands, right? Okay, so let's start to the side with our right hand like we first learned. Going in forward circles like a jump rope. Okay, now we're gonna turn to the front, and I'm gonna put my hand in there and switch. So I'm going palm to palm, like in a little prayer position. And this one is a little tricky, it'll take some practice. But let's practice together, okay? So first going forward. Now we're gonna turn and switch. And then we're gonna turn again. My hoop is still going in the same direction. This is where it comes in handy being able to do backwards, switch, and forward. This is gonna allow you to move and dance comfortably with your hoop as we go and progress with our classes, okay? All right, looking good, everyone. All right, so now we're gonna take everything we've learned so far and put it together because we wanna be able to connect all our moves and dance and have fun with our hoop, right? Okay, so we're gonna put on some music and we're gonna hoop together. Take everything you've learned so far and we're gonna try to dance and move and have fun with it, okay? Are you ready? All right, let's go. All right, guys, great job. You're learning fast. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the next thing, and we're gonna learn a trick. Is everyone ready to learn a hoop trick? All right, let's get started. Okay, now we're gonna learn our first hoop trick. Okay, here's what I want you to do. Take your hoop and hold it on either side like so, and place it around your body. Now find a comfortable way for your hands. For me, it's with my thumbs facing down, like so. Now imagine you have a big old pair of pants, or maybe a skirt, okay? And it's around here. So get it around your waist, and let's just spin in some little circles here. Nothing fancy, just getting a feel for how the hoop goes around us using our hands. Okay, so the first trick we're going to learn looks like this. Ta-da! Looks really cool and it's super easy. Okay, so let's try that from your pants or your skirt here. And as we spin, you're going to try to keep your hoop nice and flat, and you're going to slowly move your arms up over your head and back down. Now you can change directions like so, as long as your hoop is moving smoothly up and down. Now this will take a little bit of practice to get it looking like mine does, but I promise you, you can do it. So imagine you're making a big tube around your whole body that looks like this. Just slowly, right? We could take it all the way down to the ground. all the way up over our heads, and we can change direction. Back down, all the way down, 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 down. You could come all the way to the ground. Now up and down. Now let's do that with the spin, starting from the ground. Ready? Try to keep your hoop nice and flat. Takes a little practice, but it creates a really cool illusion. All right, now we're gonna add a little pizzazz to that by wobbling our hoop. Okay, so take your pants with your hands on either side like so, and we're gonna do this same move we just learned, but we're gonna add a wobble. Remember those tornadoes we did in our warm-up? Same kind of thing. Don't forget about your spotting if you start to get dizzy. Now we're just gonna tilt our hoop like so while turning. Now make sure you don't trip on your own feet. Go nice and slow at first until you get a feel for this. And this looks really cool and it's easy to do. You could turn your body with it like a tilt-a-whirl. You can switch directions. Turn the other way. If you start to get dizzy, don't forget to look at a spot on the wall and try to keep your eyes on it as you spin. Okay, now let's see what that looks like with our wobble and without the wobble. Are you getting dizzy yet? All right, so you guys just learned your first hoop trick. Now we have some vertical tricks and a horizontal trick that we know, okay? All right, next we're gonna go back into the vertical plane. Remember these? All right. Now, you know how cars, we drive like this, right? Well, you guys don't probably drive yet, but you've seen your parents drive. Their steering wheels aren't really this big, but this is the motion they make with them, right? Imagine your hoop is fixed in the center and it can't move from the center point, just like a steering wheel. Try to spin your hoop without moving it off its center point. It's kind of hard, right? We call these isolations. It's an illusion, kind of like a magic trick with a hoop, that makes it look like your hoop is floating, okay? Now this is a much more advanced version of the isolation. And if you want to try to work on that, you can, but we'll get to that in a later class. For now, let's just try our steering wheels. Now, if you're feeling like this is easy and you want to move on, you can add one of these, a spin. Try in the other direction. Same thing, imagine your hoop is a steering wheel affixed at the center point. Spin and spin. Don't forget your point on the wall so you don't get dizzy and fall over. But if you do, that's okay too, because we're here to have fun. All right, looking good. So let's put everything we've learned so far together. So we have these in our horizontal plane. All right, and we have these steering wheels in our vertical plane. Okay, now let's take what we learned with our thumb fences and hooping on our hands with control and see if we can go from our steering wheel to these. All right, how's everyone doing? Feeling good? Okay, so let's try putting that all together. Vertical. If you're a dancer, throw a dance move in there. This is hoop dancing. Okay. Now let's see if we can get from this to these. And back to hooping on our hand. All right, guys, looking really good. Now let's see if we can get to our tubes. Back to hooping on our hands. All right, guys, now we're gonna practice the move we just learned, and we're gonna add music so we can dance to it and practice. All right, are you ready? Let's go. All right, guys, great job. Now we're gonna play a song and we're gonna practice everything we've learned so far today and put it all together. All right, are you ready? Let's start on our hands. right, guys, great job. Okay, now we're gonna get to waist hooping. So, to waist hoop, it can be a little bit tricky, but just stick with it. Practice makes perfect on anything, okay? All right, so go ahead and put the hoop around your middle like so. I've got my arms on either side of it with my thumbs pointing up. This is a good way to get started. Now, if you already know how to waist hoop, great. Go ahead and waist hoop. But for those of you who don't yet, I'm going to show you some tips on how to make it easier, okay? Now, one thing you'll notice is your hoop falls down, right? So, a good way to help with this is to take one foot and put it forward. We're going to get a nice rocking motion going to keep our hips moving and keep the hoop up. Okay, now go ahead and put your one foot forward, take your hoop like so with your arms on either side. And for most people, it's a little easier to go in this direction to your left. All right, and go. Now, notice how I'm rocking on my forward foot. I'm trying to keep it above my hips on the small part of my middle. Now, if you're wondering what to do with your hands, doesn't matter for now, okay? Sometimes I put them on the back of my head. Sometimes I make a T. Dinosaur arms happen, but they don't really look the greatest, right? So let's just have fun and be loose. Okay. Another thing that really helps with waist hooping is spinning in the same direction that the hoop is moving. Now in my case, the hoop is going to my left, this way, right? So I'm making small turns with my feet in the same direction that my hoop is going, all the while shaking my hips. Remember those hip shakes we did in our warm-up? Same thing. Small circles with my hips. So maybe the foot forward and the rock helps you. Maybe spinning in the same direction helps you. Maybe a little bit of both, right? Now, if I tried to spin in the opposite direction that my hoop is going, in this case to my right, it would make it much harder, right? So let's not do that because it's much more difficult. All right, try it again. If you've already got this down, great. Just practice and see how long you can hold it up. Now remember to take nice small steps so you don't trip on your own feet, right? If this is easy for you, practice doing some fun stuff with your arms. And remember, this is all really great exercise. It's good for your hand-eye coordination. It's good for your brain, good for your body. All right, looking good. Now, if your waist hooping doesn't look like mine, that's okay. I've been hooping for 10 years, so I'm cheating, okay? All right. Now, if you're having some trouble with spinning with your hoop, we're gonna do a little exercise that's gonna help with that. Okay, so we call these stalls because we're stalling the hoop. So take the hoop around your waist like so, with your arms holding it on the side. Now I want you to just practice spinning while holding your hoop. Don't forget about spotting. Find a point on your wall so you don't get too dizzy. Okay, now we're gonna speed it up a little bit. And we're gonna try to spin the same speed that our hoop is going, creating a stall, meaning the hoop isn't moving around our waist, we're moving with the hoop, right? Okay, ready? Now you can't do this for very long because you gotta go pretty fast to keep up with your hoop, but it's a great way to understand how fast your hoop is moving. Woo! Now you might be a little bit dizzy. Let's try it the other way. Ready? Stall it. Woo! Go ahead and stop before you get too dizzy. You don't want to fall down. But this is a great way of understanding how your hoop moves around you. Okay, so let's do a practice and put all of that together. So we're gonna put on some music and we're gonna try to dance and have fun with it, okay? Are you ready? Now, we're gonna practice waist hooping. And we're gonna put on some music so we get a nice groove going and you can practice what you've learned so far, okay? Are you ready? Let's go. Now we're gonna put together everything we've learned so far because we wanna dance with our hoops, right? Okay, so let's try to remember everything we've learned today and put it all together. So we learned to hoop on our hands, right? On the side like a jump rope, in front, switch hands, backwards and forward, okay? We also learned steering wheels, and rolls, and wobbles, okay? From the top down to the bottom. All right, now we're gonna put that all together to some music and we're gonna dance and have fun with it, okay? Let's get started. Great job, you guys. You guys did an awesome job. And that was class 1 of beginner hooping. So tune in for my next class to learn more tricks, and you guys are going to be awesome hoopers before you know it. Thanks for joining us. Bye.